Investigators right now are working to figure out what started a massive fire that destroyed a Bellevue home.
And News Channel 5's Blake Rosnowski's been live at the scene for us all morning this morning. And Blake, I know you just spoke to the owner of this home. How's she doing this morning?
Well, Amy and Rebecca, as you can imagine, Lillian Slaughter and her family are pretty shaken up this morning. They're still here on scene, assessing the damage and figuring out what's next and trying to figure out what exactly happened here this morning. Slaughter says family members who live next door were the ones who called her son to tell her about the fire when it broke out around 2:30 this morning. Slaughter and her grandson live in the home, but they were staying with other family last night. They couldn't believe what they saw when they showed up to see massive flames shooting out from the roof this morning. You can see just how intense that was just a few hours ago. The Nashville Fire Department says the home is now considered a total loss. The family is just thankful no one got hurt.
We haven't been in there yet, so it looked pretty bad though. I'm glad my grandson and me, we wasn't here when it happened. Shoot, but we would have been burned up too, I guess.
Now, Slaughter says she has 2 dogs that live out back, and they are both okay, so she's thankful for that. She is able to stay with some family members while they figure out what to do next. Live in Bellevue, Blake Rosnowski, News Channel 5.
To the primary elections now. The stage for November's gubernatorial election is set. Democrat Carl Dean will face Republican Bill Lee. Dean served as Nashville's mayor from 2007 to 2015, and Bill Lee currently serves as chairman for Lee Company. The general election is November 6th. In the race to fill the U.S. Senate seat, Republican Marsha Blackburn defeated Erin Pettigrew with nearly 85% of the vote. She's one of President Trump's biggest proponents and has been a big name in Congress since 1999.
This is not a race about the past. This is a race about the future.
Marsha, Marsha.
Blackburn didn't run any TV ads until just this past Wednesday. She says she was focusing primarily on online and digital campaigning. Blackburn will take on former Governor Phil Bredesen, who won the Democratic nomination in the Senate race with nearly 92% of the vote. He's going to stop by the station this morning. I'm going to interview him, so look for parts of that interview online this afternoon. A runoff election for vice mayor.
It's right now just too close between council member Sherry Weiner and Jim Schulman. Weiner did finish first, but she got less than 50% of the vote, so the two will face off in September. An exact date has not yet been set, but we'll let you know as soon as it is. Now to our congressional races. Republican Dr. Mark Green will face Democrat Justin Kanew to represent Tennessee's 7th congressional district. Several candidates were also vying for the seat left open by Representative Diane Black in the 6th district. It was a bitterly fought campaign for the Republican nomination there, but John Rose ended up beating former Judge Bob Corlew. He'll now face Don Barlow, who won the Democratic nomination coming up in November.
And another open congressional seat was out in East Tennessee in the 2nd district. Representative Jimmy Duncan is stepping down after allegedly using campaign money to fund an extravagant lifestyle. Renee Hoyos has won the Democratic nomination and will have a tough fight in the heavily conservative area. Hoyos will face Tim Burchett this fall, who won the Republican nomination.
And you can see all the concession and victory speeches in their entirety on our website, newschannel5.com, as well as finding other races that were going on across the mid-state. We'll also have the results scrolling throughout the bottom of your screen. You can see right there. This is going to happen all morning long through the newscast.
As more remains come back to the U.S. from North Korea, we've learned at least one soldier has been identified, and he's from Bowling Green, Kentucky. Private First Class Joe Stanton Elmore was 20 years old when he was reported missing in 1950. A scientist with the Defense Department said all the remains brought to the U.S. are consistent with being Americans. Veterans returning home get help restarting their lives as civilians. The Veterans Business Outreach Center is now open to service members and their families. Veterans will be offered free or low-cost training and counseling on their way to become entrepreneurs. Officials who hosted the opening say vets make a great fit in the business world.
We're seeing a lot of veterans process out of the military on a daily basis, and the entrepreneur tract is a great tract for them to take the skills that they learned while they were in the military and put those to work to create jobs and grow their businesses and their own wealth in our communities.
Pathway Lending will be one of a handful of businesses nationwide to function as a Veterans Business Outreach Center.
And some private businesses are trying to help ease Nashville traffic for their employees and everyone else by offering their staff hours worked from home. Dell's campus in Nashville is hiring 150 additional members right now. They're allowing more than half of their employees to work from home some days or change their schedule based on what works best for them.
It's allowing them to be more productive, utilizing some of that time working from home as an example, rather than sitting in traffic every single morning.
Sounds like an attractive offer to get new talent. One of the tech companies nationwide, Dell is just one that is giving employees flexible hours and really leading the way. We're also hearing here at Metro Government talking about shifting schedules to get away from that peak traffic time.
Anything to get fewer cars on the road.
Amen.
Let's all vote for that.